Hey guys, it's your girl Althea here. In today's video, I will be giving you a tour of my apartment. So, let's go. To start off, I have this little compartment where people can drop off their mail. And right here is this little box so that packages can be dropped off. For me, this is very convenient, so I don't have to run into the mailbox to get anything. Next up is my shoe closet, which is right in front of me when I enter my apartment. It's very tall, and it holds about 5 pairs of shoes. These are my running shoes, which are basically my standard pair of shoes that I use when I'm not working, or when I'm walking outside, or simply just commuting back and forth to school, which is a bike ride. This is my bike, by the way, which I always park right outside of my apartment. These are some very nice loafer shoes that my mom gave me before I left for Japan. Because there is a typical policy in Japan where I have to wear a different pair of shoes whenever I work inside the school building. I change into these shoes whenever I start work in my school each day. Then we have a little microwave here. On top of my microwave, I have a rice cooker, portable one that I bought from a thrift store for only 3,900 yen. And I also got this rice spoon from the Cereal 100 yen store. I find it cool, by the way, that this can stand up. On top, we have this shelf where I keep a surprisingly huge amount of food and seasonings and all that. I like to call it my little pantry. Down here, we have my fridge. I really like this little compartment where you keep eggs. I think it's really cute. Then down here, we have this little box of cheese that I bought when I went grocery shopping the other day because I really miss my cheese back in America. Then up here, we have a little freezer where I like to keep some meats that I can thaw for the next day, as well as my ice cream that I made from my cookies and cream in my Japanese apartment shorts. If you haven't already seen that, please check it out. We have a washing machine, a shelf where I like to keep things like detergent, some softeners, some extra body wash, as well as this little mesh bag that I like to use when washing my undergarments and socks. And here we have another storage compartment where I like to keep things like toiletries, facial products, makeup, and towels, as well as cleaning products. Then on the other side, we have a lot of these light switches, which I still get confused about sometimes. But anyways, this light switch turns on the shower room on this side. Then here in the upper right turns on this little room where the toilet is. Oops. There we go. Then this one is just simply for this light up here. And then up here we have some controls. This is like a cool breeze to cool you off. And then this one I like to use in order to dry my clothes when I hang them from the laundry. And then this is a little timer that I could use to set up for about 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and so forth. And then a closer look at this side of the bathroom. We have a little sink and a little shower. This faucet can be used for both the sink and the bathtub, but I'm not personally a bathtub person, so I like to use the sink to wash my face and just use the shower if I want to rinse. Again, like I said before, this is a little rack that I like to use when I hang out wet clothes after washing them from the laundry. And then this is the final part of the corridor, the kitchen, where basically all of my cooking shorts happens. One of my favorite parts of this kitchen is actually this little sliding compartment where I do most of my cutting and mixing. I think it comes in handy in this very small space. In this kitchen, this is an IH stove, which is an electric stove. It has a front section and a back. And then on this side, we have the sink where I do all my dishes. And then down here, I have my magnetic kitchen rack that I bought from Syria, where I keep all of these kitchen utensils, like this ice cream scoop, this whisk, my tongs, and my rubber spatula, all of which I also bought from Syria. And up here we have a little shelf where I keep all my dishes for eating. If it's blinking here, that's just because of the light, so sorry about that. Here we have a little cute bowl and plate set that I got from a grocery store. Some cute little chopsticks that I got from a high school student in Japan when I worked as a chaperone. And finally, some chopstick stand, a watermelon that I bought from a flea market before going to Japan, which is really cute. Here is basically my living room and my bedroom combined, which is basically the main course of my apartment. This is a basic table with 2 chairs that my apartment came with when I first moved in, which is where I eat as well as taste all my recipes for all my cooking shorts. This is a bag of all the snacks that coworkers have been giving me after starting to work at the school that I've been assigned to. I'll be soon posting shorts of me tasting all these snacks, so stay tuned for all that. The apartment came with these remotes, 2 black remotes for my TV, as well as a white remote that I use to control the heater and the air conditioner. The one thing I love the most about this apartment is that there is an abundant amount of storage space, including cabinets on these 2 stairs. Yes, you heard that right. The stairs are cabinets. I also found it pretty cool that the bottom part of my quote-unquote bunk bed is this huge compartment where I keep my backpack and my suitcase. Who knows, someone could sleep under there. And then onto my closets. This is the left side of my closet. Here I usually keep all my pants and shorts. And on the top I have all my casual shirts, sweaters, cardigans, as well as winter gear. Hanging on the right side are all my blazers, vests, and jackets. This is also the side where I usually decide all my work outfits for the week. Up here is usually where I keep my bike helmet, my tank tops, an umbrella which is inside of that white case, as well as my PJs. This is the window of my room that I usually like to use to sunbathe when it gets sunny. And this is what the view from my apartment looks like. On each side of the window are these hooks that we use to hang up clothes to dry from the laundry. Dryer machines aren't as prominent in Japan, so hanging them is the way to go. One interesting thing that this apartment came with is this monitor camera, in which the screen automatically turns on if someone rings the doorbell in front. It also came with this intercom that you could use to speak through. And finally, we get to my bed, which kind of feels like a bunk bed because of the stairs and the height. Up here we have a little book in Japanese that one of my cousins gave me during the Secret Santa, because I told them that I really love to read Japanese as well as practicing its language. And finally, next to my pillow, I have a few treasures that I have brought from America, like this pouch from my university, UW, that a friend gave me, as well as this cute little fingerboard that I bought from California. I thought it was pretty cool. I can use it as a fidget toy to perform all sorts of tricks. Thank you so much for watching. This was my tour of my apartment. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and the bell so that you don't miss out any updates on this channel. So yeah,